Donald Trump should write the date down because the U.S. House of Representatives earlier today gave him and his gangster family a $1 billion payday. $1 billion. Right into Donald Trump and his gangster family's pockets. That was in the so-called rewrite of the tax code that the House passed this afternoon. Now it's up to the Senate. And from what I understand, the Senate is not going to let this go through. But what the Republicans did in the House, they enacted a $1.5 trillion in tax cuts. Now, that has to be made up somewhere. So the way it's going to be made up, the bullshit line is that with this tax cut, the corporations that this tax cut benefits, the corporations are going to be so thrilled that they're going to start hiring, insanely hiring, building plants, all kinds of stuff. They're going to make little aluminum shit here again. They're going to start doing rugs and blue jeans again. Yeah. None of that is going to happen. On CNBC the other day, there was a forum of some sort. I think it was CNBC. A bunch of CEOs were at some kind of a gathering. I don't know if it was New York or Washington. It's immaterial, but they were all together and they were listening to, what's his first name? Steve Mnuchin? Is it Mnuchin? No, it's not Mnuchin. What am I trying to say, Kathy? Who's the Treasury Secretary? That is Mnuchin? Well, I don't think he was the one that was at this meeting. It doesn't matter. It was one of Trump's appointees. I'm drawing a complete blank on who it was. But he gave a speech about how wonderful this tax cut was going to be for corporations and how this tax cut would free up corporations to do all this hiring and building new facilities, so on and so forth. Now, keep in mind, he was giving this speech in front of all these CEOs, all these COOs, all these CFOs, all the people, the top people in various corporations who make the decisions about expanding, about hiring, yada, yada, yada. When he was finished, the moderator of this group said, he held up his microphone. He said, well, just to see how this is going to play out, could I see a show of hands? The executives here in this room, how many are going to use this tax cut for hiring? Out of about 150 people in that room, 5 raised their hands. 5. And the Trump thug sitting on the stage said, where's all the hands? Well, what? Where? And then they turned it into a joke. 5 out of about 150 corporate officers. Point being that the way this thing is sold is pure bullshit. Absolute bullshit. And when I saw these grinning monkeys this afternoon, Eddie Munster, Speaker of the House, and all these Republican House members standing there with these shit-eating grins on their faces about, hey, we really did a good thing today, didn't we? Pat, 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 pat. I really do believe that those of us who still are sane or partly sane, that we've slipped through some kind of a rip, a tear in time and or space, and we've slid into some world where some idiot like Paul Ryan can stand there with this grin on his face and all these Republicans standing behind him as if they've done something good for the American people, which they haven't. Now, the House took their vote shortly after the ignorant savage Trump went to the House, to Capitol Hill, to talk to these people. The bill passed 227 to 205. 13 Republicans voted against the bill. All the Democrats voted against the bill. The Republicans who voted no were from New York, New Jersey, California, and North Carolina. Now, I don't know what the point was of the North Carolinians, but for New York, New Jersey, and California, it was simply a matter of trying to protect their constituents. Because if this bill were to become law, which it will not, but if it were, the people in New York, New Jersey, and California would immediately be hit with about a 10% tax increase. Now, where does it come from? Well, it comes from the fact that the House bill eliminates the deduction for state and local taxes. And New York, New Jersey, and California have high state and local taxes. So they'll no longer be able to deduct those taxes as they get down to their net income, their taxable income. They won't be able to take those taxes off at all. So they'll be paying taxes on taxes, which is just goddamn brilliant, isn't it? That's something that you expect the Republicans to do, but they don't give a shit. This bill that was passed by the House Republicans today has nothing to do with working people, the middle class, those of us who get a paycheck. Let me put it that way. I don't care where your paycheck comes from or how much it is. If you get a paycheck, then this bill does nothing for you, absolutely nothing. Now, if you have unearned income, or if you like to play the stock market, or if you, whatever kinds of hickory-dickory trickery that you use, as the Trumps do, as these Wall Street players do, oh, you'll be fine, you'll be great, man. Like I said, the Trumps just got a $1 billion tax cut. Why aren't these laws passed with a condition that no one who voted either for it or against it, but no one who voted to pass it, and nobody in the executive branch can receive the benefits for 5 years? Yeah, that wouldn't work, would it? Now the Senate, I'm hoping. The Senate Finance Committee is still working on this. And the Senate version of this tax overhaul is just vastly different from what the House passed. And the Republicans in the Senate now, the pressure shifts to them. These Republicans have been in office, or this president has been in office, we're in the 11th month. And this useless criminal has done nothing. The Congress has done nothing, absolutely nothing. This country could have continued to operate without these bastards. So they're desperate to find something that they can take home at Christmas and say to their brain-dead constituents, hey, look what we did. We passed and it's going to be a wonderful tax cut for you, Mr. Factory Worker, and you, Mr. Shopkeeper, and you, Miss Business Owner. And they'll get away with saying that until somebody at their town hall meetings or whatever says, well, wait a second, I did some calculating here. This actually is a tax increase for me. And then, of course, the Republicans will do what Christian, white, male Republicans always do. They'll lie their asses off to their brain-dead constituents. And their brain-dead constituents will do what brain-dead constituents always do. They'll suck up the lies, and they'll say, well, at least he's not a Democrat. Stupid asses.